Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another breakdown. I'm going to be breaking down this upcoming UFC 325 pay-per-view card. I know some of you guys are probably saying, oh, there's no pay-per-views anymore, but you're wrong. There are pay-per-views in Canada, where I live. So it sucks for me, sucks for all of us living in Canada. We still gotta find other ways to watch these cards, because why would any of us want to pay 80 bucks for a pay-per-view card when one of our neighbors are watching this for $9 a month every pay-per-view card? So that kind of sucks for us. Now that I'm done complaining about this, let's get to the breakdowns. Before we get to the breakdown, make sure you guys leave a like on this video. It really helps out with the YouTube algorithm. And also subscribe if you're new to my channel. I do breakdown for UFC. I cover LFA, I cover PFO, I cover some other regional MMA organizations. So if you guys like watching MMA, you guys should probably subscribe. Now let's get to the breakdowns. There's actually a lot of fights on this card. We have a total of 14 fights on this card as of right now. Fingers crossed there's no cancellations, because I remember the UFC 24 card had a total of 14, not 14, I mean 4 canceled fights. And obviously we lost the co-main on that card, which was supposed to be Menendez versus Kayla Harrison. Huge fight in WMA. We also lost some other fights due to betting scandal. I think that was in that Hernandez and Johnson fight. So they pulled that fight off because there was something going on with the betting market. And Dana White said at the post-fight interview that he's not taking any chances anymore after the Bulgarian situation. And there's also like another canceled fight. I think it was some other man fight which got canceled last week. So fingers crossed there's no canceled fights on this card. There's nothing going on with the betting stuff on this card. And we have a really solid card. We got Volkanovski defending his belt again against Diego Lopes, who's coming off beating John Silva by knockout, which was very impressive. It was a main event, and he got the job done in 2 rounds. So he's getting a second crack at that title. I know most of us are like, it should have been Leron Murphy, or it should have been Movsar Evloev. But let's be honest, man. Movsar Evloev cannot finish anyone other than his 17-year-old wife. So like, I get it why they're skipping over Movsar Evloev, and he's also been injured. He pulled out of a fight recently, I believe. And then the Leron Murphy situation, I mean, he probably should have got the title shot, right? But he did get a knockout, right, which is very impressive. One of the best KOs of the year. Spinning back elbow, I believe it was an elbow or a back fist. I think I actually think it was an elbow. So like, he knocked out Aaron Pico, another Bellator prospect who had a lot of hype coming into the UFC. So, and he put all that hype to bed. So like, probably should have been Norm Murphy, but can't complain, man. Their first fight was really entertaining. Volkanovski Lopes had a war for 5 rounds. Lopes, I mean, he didn't really look that good other than like some moments in that fight, which were too far in between. For the majority of the fight, I mean, Volkanovski was in total control of that fight. So I would like to see how many adjustments Diego Lopes has been able to make going into this rematch now. So I guess it is going to be a fun matchup when you look at it from that angle. So I'm really looking forward to this fight now. When they announced it, I wasn't really that excited, but now that we're getting closer, I definitely am looking forward to it. And the co-main, we got Dan Hooker. I really do not understand how Dan Hooker gets a co-main event spot after just getting submitted by Armin Sarukian. So that's kind of weird. I mean, Saint-Denis, I mean, did he earn a co-main event on this card? I guess he did, because he knocked out Benny Dariush. I guess you give him a title. I mean, you give him another co-main event. He's been on a good run, right? He beat Ruffy. He beat Benil Dariush. So he's been on like a good little run at 155. Now he takes on the Hangman Hooker in the co-main event. Should be a fun matchup. I think it's gonna be a war. Unless Denis can just take him down and just nullify his striking game, which I don't think is going to be that easy for Saint-Denis. And then in the feature fight on the main card, we got Fiziev versus Mauricio Ruffy. Obviously, Ruffy's coming back after getting destroyed by Saint-Denis, and this is going to be his comeback fight to Fiziev, who's a striker. So I don't think he's going to have to deal with much wrestling here, even though Fiziev does like to mix in wrestling from time to time. Definitely not as potent of a wrestler or grappler as Saint-Denis. So it should be a good matchup there between two strikers for the most part. And we got Tuivasa now. Tuivasa is still in the UFC somehow. Kind of shocking. I mean, not really like a little bit shocking, but obviously the UFC matchmakers, they love Tuivasa. They like putting him on these cards with Volkanovski and like other champion like Jack Della Maddalena cards. So he's back fighting in Australia, so obviously you have to get him on this card. And this might be do or die for Tuivasa. I mean, if he loses this matchup, I don't know what they can do with him, because he's already on like a 6-fight losing streak, I believe. Because I think he's lost like 6 fights in a row now. Okay, it's actually 5. It's only 5 fights in a row, but that's... I mean, he's been losing to guys that are pretty good, but still a 5-fight losing streak. And 6-fight losing streak might just get him cut, maybe. But he's taking Talos and Teixeira, who got knocked out by the guy that Tuivasa knocked out in his last win, right? Derek Lewis. So we'll see how that matchup goes. We got Salkilld taking on Jamie Mullarkey. I don't even know who sanctioned this fight. Horrible matchup for Jamie Mullarkey. I kind of hope this fight gets canceled, man, because I really do not understand what Jamie Mullarkey is going to... I guess I know what he's going to get from winning this matchup if he does somehow pull it off. But man, I do not like his chances in this matchup at all. But it should be fun, should be entertaining. Someone's probably gonna go to bed, and that someone is probably gonna be Mullarkey. And next matchup on the card, excuse me, is this actually made me laugh, because I was like, what? Justin Tafa or Justin Tafa, because I know they love putting these Tafa brothers on these cards. But like, where's Justin Tafa? They probably should have put both of them against one another. 2 brothers fighting each other to see who gets to stay on the UFC roster. But yeah, I mean, he's taking a Billy Elekana. He's fighting at 2-5, obviously. So, did he get a win at 205? I think he did. I think he did beat that Sharaf guy, right? Let me see. I think he's coming off a win. Is he? No, he's coming off getting submitted by Tokos, and I did pick Tokos by submission there. Yeah, he got finished by Tokos in his last fight. He beat Sean Sharaf. Wasn't that at 265? Yeah, that was at 265. Man, Tafa brothers are like so bad. I know there's like a couple of people that love the Tafa brothers in the MMA community. I mean, shout out to you guys for believing in these guys. But yeah, I'm not one of them. Another matchup on the card is going to be Cam Rowston taking on Brundage. This is going to be a fun, entertaining matchup. Rowston's been on a good little win streak after coming back and winning on a contender series. Because obviously the first time he lost to the GOAT Taurus Finney, who's also fighting on this card. He's taking Jacob Malkoun. So yeah, these 2 fights are going to be fun. We got Jonathan Micallef taking Elliott. Elliott was on a pretty good run before he ran into Seokhyun Ko. Yeah, I'm trying my best with those names here. But yeah, he ran into Seokhyun Ko, who just out-wrestled the shit out of him for 15 minutes. And now he's got a good matchup here, I think. Probably a easier matchup than Seokhyun Ko. Another matchup on this card is going to be Ofli taking a Yizha. That's going to be a fun little matchup there. And then we got some Road to the UFC fights to start off the card. So I did some tape study for some of these. I mean, I didn't really like spend like hours and hours to do tape study, but I did spend a couple of hours to get to know some of these guys. So I guess we'll quickly run over these fights. Yeah, make sure you guys before we get into the breakdown, make sure you guys leave a like and subscribe. I think I've already said that twice now, so I apologize for that. But yeah, let's get into the breakdowns. First fight on the card is going to be Sarai Batbayar. I only seen highlights of this guy. Like, I was trying to find tape on him on the UFC Fight Pass, and I couldn't really find anything on him. I've only seen highlights on YouTube, and he's got some power. He can knock people out, I guess. He's fast. He's like pretty good striker. I don't know how good his wrestling's gonna be because I couldn't really find much on him. Like I couldn't really find full fights of his. Maybe some people out there might know how to find fights on him with a different name because I know they do that sometimes. But I am familiar with his opponent, Aaron Tao. He did compete in Contender Series, and he obviously fought through Road to DFC. He lost to Eliza Smith, who's a pretty good prospect at 135 pounds. So honestly, like I think that that was a 135 up a weight class on short notice. And he actually looked kind of good, man. He was getting kind of beat up early, and then he showed a pretty good gas tank. He showed that he's got that dog in him, and he won the third round. Obviously, I think Eliza Smith was the one that took the fight on short notice. Maybe I think yeah, it was him who took the fight on short notice. Maybe that's why he slowed down in the third round. But man, Tao, like he's not really the biggest guy for the weight class. He's only like 5'4", but he's pretty like scrappy. Has some power, like can wrestle a little bit. He can do everything pretty well. So like I'm gonna go with the underdog off the rip, Tao. 11-1. I mean, losing to Eliza Smith, not gonna hold that against him at all. Because I think Smith would probably beat Nemzirai. So yeah, give me Aaron Tao. I think it's a slight underdog. Plus 105 underdog. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Aaron Tao in this one. Let's see what the over and under is. Under 1.5 rounds plus. I think honestly, I think it goes over 1.5 rounds. Next fight on the card is gonna be man. These names are definitely tricky. These Asian names are tricky. We got Lawrence Louis taking on Solangarambo. Solangarambo. Man, I'm trying my best with these names, but like some of these are so tough. But yeah, I've actually seen a lot of tape on both of these guys, and also I've actually seen more tape on Lawrence Louis than I've seen on Solangarambo because I've only seen one of his fights on the Road TFC episode. And he's actually got like, I mean, I get it why he's favored, but like, why is he why is he favored by like minus 225? Like, he's 20 years old. He's a really good counter striker, has a lot of KO power, throws nice uppercuts down the middle, and can time you on the way in. That's what he does really well. I'm not sure how good his takedown defense really is because I haven't been able to find other fights of his where he's had to show his takedown defense. But Lawrence on the other side, he can be taken down a little bit, but he does a pretty good job. Sweep like kind of like rolling back to the fence and getting back up. Doesn't really get controlled on the ground all that much. He's a good striker. He's a long rangey striker. He's not gonna be the bigger fighter in this matchup. Um, I like Lawrence, man. I do like Lawrence, but something's telling me he's gonna get caught on the way in this matchup. I really do think that Solang Grambo is probably gonna time a counter, and maybe does he knock him out? I think he could knock him out, but I'm gonna say that Lawrence is pretty tough, and this one could go probably a little bit longer. So I mean, but like I'll say one thing: I get why people are picking Louis because he's a good prospect. Out of New Zealand, and he's only lost to Anthony Drillich, who's only I think he's actually like 10-2 now. So yeah, I mean, so his losses is not bad, and Drillich can wrestle, but Drillich was definitely catching him with some shots on the way in at times, but like he had a pretty good scrap. You can find that fight on YouTube. I'm gonna go with Slang Rambo on this one. But like, do I want to go bet him minus 200? Don't think so. He's only 20 years old, so still a young guy in the game. Next fight on the card is gonna be let's like what are the odds? Yeah, minus 247 for Solang Rambo. Damn, you open up at plus 165. That's crazy. That is wild. What? That is some serious money on this guy that people are putting. Next fight on the card, we got Sebastian Szalay taking on Teixeira Nakamura. I'm actually going to go with Szalay on this one. I actually like his game a lot. He's got a good card. He's in 5 rounds before. And, but like, I'll say one thing, man. He does, like, he kind of fights like Volkanovski on the back foot. Just looking to counter, landing some kicks, low kicks. Mostly a boxer than like kicker. But he does pretty good job. I mean, he's been dropped before, but I think he got dropped by Gillies, in the second round, I believe it was, or like maybe the third round. And then he almost knocked him out at the in the fifth round, like in the final 10 seconds. And he won almost every single round. So Gillis is a guy who's never been knocked out, by the way. I mean, he's lost a ton of fights, but never been knocked out. So that was kind of impressive. 5 rounds, going 5 rounds there. He's 31 years old, so like he's gonna have to really put it together right now, because I don't see the UFC giving him another opportunity. Um, when you're 31 years old at 145 pounds, I mean, like there's not a lot of times you're gonna get a call back by the UFC. So this is his time, and I think he is gonna get it done. I really do think he can get it done, but he's gonna have to be careful though, because Nakamura is a dangerous striker, has KO power, and catch you with some knees if you're not careful. But yeah, I'm gonna go with the Szalay by. Honestly, I'm gonna go by. Do I go by KO? I'm probably gonna go by knockout, man. I feel like it's gonna be decision though. He fights like really safe sometimes. Man, I feel like it's 145 pounds. I'm gonna go by decision. Szalay on the scorecards. 30-27 probably. Next fight on the card, we got Dom Marfan taking on Sang UK Kim. I mean, is he from the UK? Probably not. He's from South Korea. But yeah, I'm gonna go with the straight brother. Buddha. Okay, I thought that was the straight brother. I read that wrong. My bad. But yeah, I mean, I'll be honest with you guys, man. I did not do a lot of tape study for this fight. I only seen some highlights, and I don't even remember them right now. So I'm just gonna go with Don Marfan. I don't even know, man. I'll probably do more tape study after later on, but this is like one of the fights that I didn't really tape much. I'm just gonna go with this guy just because his picture looks more menacing. That's all you guys need to know. Next fight on the card, finally some good matchups now, some good fights. I'm not saying those Road to UFC fights are gonna be boring, but like finally some UFC guys on the fighting now that are already on the roster. I feel like honestly, I feel like they should do these Road to UFC fights on at the Apex. I know they got a different name now, Meta. I think they call it Meta now, Meta Apex or some shit like that. But anyways, let's do this breakdown. And I'm actually pretty confident that Yizha is gonna win this one. The reason I like him here, because he has wrestling to not get out grappled by Ofli. That's what Ofli's good at. He been out there submitted Ramos, who's like shouldn't even be in the UFC roster because he's got no IQ. I was gonna say fight IQ, but yeah, he's got no IQ at all. And Ramos is a guy you can just like finish. Makes a lot of mistakes. It's crazy though. I mean, he finished Ramos, and Chepe couldn't finish him in 3 rounds. I mean, just like sometimes this MMA game doesn't make any sense. But yeah, Ofli's gonna have to get the grappling going and take us back and strangle him. I don't think he's gonna be able to like get I think he could get a takedown or two, but like, is he gonna take his back and strangle him? I don't really think so. I don't really see it going like that. I think he's just gonna have the striking, the output, and the knockout ability. So I'm gonna go with Yizha. Does he knock him out? I mean, he's not fighting a Rowston Wilson here. I'll say that much. He knocked out Rowston Wilson, who is pretty chinny. I mean, Rowston Wilson's obviously Wonder Boy's prodigy, Rowston Wilson, and he's only got one thing, which is like BJJ nerd. This is game. He's a BJJ nerd. Knocked him out in the first round, which is impressive though. Which is impressive. I mean, some guys they can't do that. Jekka Sergey couldn't knock him out. Got submitted by Rowston Wilson. So what are you gonna do, right? I mean, he did get. I think he did get destroyed by Santos in that matchup. And he showed a lot of hurt, man. He's tough. He can stay in there. He can take his beating when he needs to. When he has to. I mean, not when he needs to. When he has to take a beating, he can stay in there and stay tough. He's been finished before, but like it was a long time ago by submission. Honestly, I think he knocks out Ofli. So I'm gonna go with Yizha by KO TKO. I think he wins the fight. Could win by decision. Could win by KO. I'm gonna lean towards the knockout here. I think he knocks him out. Yizha right now is -205. I think it makes sense. I really do. I think that -200 line is not that crazy to think about. What's the KO prop? I know he's got a lot of submissions, but I don't know. I don't think he's gonna grapple with Ofli. Like, why would you, right? Even though I can see him getting takedowns of his own, Ofli is a tricky customer on the ground for sure. So, like, why even take the chance? Um, man, which method? KO. I'm gonna lean towards a KO. I don't think striking is like, as good as Santos, Martin Santos, who knocked out Ofli, right? Like a couple fights back, but it's still good enough to catch Ofli on the way in, maybe. And obviously, Ofli, I think he trains with Volkanovski, so he's gonna be prepared, man. He's gonna be prepared. Um, but yeah, I'm going with Yizha by KO. Fight goes to distance minus 170. Man, damn, they actually think this one's gonna go the distance. I think the under is not bad. If you think there's a finish, hopefully this fight's not boring. I don't think it's gonna be boring though, unless hopefully just can't get takedowns and he just like runs away the whole time. Next fight on the card, we have Jonathan Micallef taking on Open Elliott at 170 pounds. Oh, this is 170 pounds, yeah, 170 pounds scrap coming up. Man, Open Elliott was on a nice little streak, even though like he's had some hiccups in fights, but he's shown that he can make adjustments on the fly. He was on like a nice 3-0 run in the UFC. 4-1 if you 4-0 if you want to count the Contender Series win. Obviously came in, beat Kai Cabrito. I mean, he had a lot of trouble against Kai Cabrito. Kai Cabrito is a long, rangy striker. Has a lot of power. I mean, the guy has a lot of power, and he hurt him on multiple occasions. But I mean, he showed a lot of heart there. Showed a lot of durability there. Then he obviously came in, beat Bo Woodburn, who did obviously hurt him also. So that's the thing about Open Elliott, right? He's getting hurt in almost every single fight, other than the Preston Parsons fight, which is weird because I did pick Preston Parsons to beat him. And then he just goes out there to defend all the takedowns. Parsons couldn't get his striking going. Open Elliott was way too tricky to catch on the feed for Parsons, and he just was way too. I don't even know how to say this, but like he was just a hard guy to track out there for Parsons, who's mostly primary like a mid-level boxer if he can't get his takedowns. And then he obviously knocked out Basil Hafiz, but that fight was playing kind of close up until that KO moment. And then he gets destroyed by Sukyunko, who struck him on the feet and wrestled him. But Sukyunko, I think, is going to be a contender in the UFC soon at 170 pounds. Man, I mean, do we really want to write off Open Elliott just because he lost to Sukyunko? That's kind of what I struggle with. Because Micallef, I mean, his striking is good, but like, is he knocking everyone out? Not really. Like, he's not really knocking everyone out. Is his wrestling like really good? He's got good BGA. I think he's got good BGA, but like, is he really gonna like just do the same thing that Sukyunko did to Open Elliott? I really just don't see it, man. I really just don't see it. Now on the feet, I can see Micallef just throwing more output, landing that left high kick over and over, like landing over his last opponent, Kevin just say maybe can do that. Just get ahead on the striking numbers because the Open Elliott is like doesn't really like land a lot of volume, so, and he doesn't really throw with every shot with power. But he is pretty pretty he's pretty tricky out there, man. He takes his time. He waits for his counters, moments, and I don't know if is gonna wrestle. I don't think he's gonna have success wrestling against Micallef here. Now, was leaning towards Micallef before, I remember, when they made this matchup a couple fights back. I mean, I think it was like 2025, they were supposed to fight each other, and something happened there. Yeah, something actually happened there. I don't know why this fight was moved. Yeah, they were supposed to fight in September 22nd in 2025 last year, and then maybe it was, yeah, Elliott had illness in that fight. I mean, going into that fight, so they canceled it. So now they're fighting in 2026 on the second UFC card. I'm still kind of struggling with this one, but I am gonna go with Open Elliott. I'm gonna trust him one more time. I think Sukyunko is just another like really good prospect at 170 pounds, and the guy is enormous, and he just I mean, look what he just did to the other guy. Look what Sukinko just did. I mean, back to back 30-27. The guy has like really high fight IQ, and he knows what he's good at. I mean, he's came in with as a striker, but like he's just been out grappling these guys. I mean, just out grappled the shit out of Phil Rowe, who's like 6'3", 6'4". Just out grappled openly completely. Like the guy's a problem. So yeah, I'm gonna go open Elliott here. He's underdog, so I do like him at the underdog price, plus 113. I think it makes sense. I think if he didn't fight Sekion Cole and he was coming into this matchup after those wins against Basil Hafez, Parsons, even though they're not really the highest level wins, I think it would be like minus 150, minus 160 at the very least, maybe minus 180. So not saying Micallef is bad, but I'm gonna go trust Open Elliott one more time. By decision, I think Open Elliott by decision. Next fight on the card, we got Jacob Malkoun taking on Torres Finney. I mean, I know there's a lot of people hating on Torres Finney now, but the guy is good at wrestling, man. I mean, we gotta give him that. He is good at wrestling. But the main issue is, and the way the judges been scoring fights, right? I mean, if you remember the Tug Rose, and Natalia Silva fight, they don't really care about control time anymore. I mean, obviously it depends on where they're fighting, which commission is there. But like most of the judges just don't really care about control anymore. Unless you're actually like throwing ground and pound or going for submissions over and over. And yeah, then those takedowns will matter. And obviously there's another fight that I can't think about right now. I think it's Sean O'Malley, Song Yadong versus Sean O'Malley fight. So Sean O'Malley was kind of pitter-patting, outstriking Song Yadong a little bit in the first round, and then Song Yadong took him down. They still give the round to Sean O'Malley. Second round, Song Yadong took him down with 2 minutes to go, and he did win that round because he was outstriking Sean O'Malley. But the third round, yeah, he took down. I think Song Yadong also took him down in the third round. He got like 3 or 4 takedowns. But it just didn't matter, right? I mean, all 3 judges gave that fight 29-28 to Sean O'Malley. What I'm trying to say is, I'm not saying that like Malkoun's like a Sean O'Malley level striker, but he has good enough striking and he has good enough wrestling. So he's not really the most consistent guy. I mean, he's got a couple of losses, but if you really go through his losses, I mean, they're not really bad, right? Losses are not really bad, but this one was a DQ because he was trying to finish Brundage, but obviously we know Brundage's bread and butter is looking for that DQ way out, and he found it there because Malkoun just wanted to be dumb and throw elbows at the back of Brundage's head. I mean, Brundage, I mean, he's also fighting on this card, so we'll see what happens with Brundage here. Maybe he'll win by DQ again. It's happened a couple of times with Brundage now. I remember the All Sand fight also went like that. And then then the other fight, which was his recent fight, I remember they actually overturned that because it was like a illegal it was like a headbutt or something. Yeah, I mean Brundage is just like always involved in these weird scenarios. Yeah, I mean I really do want to pick Finney because I know he's gonna wrestle. And he might have success wrestling Malkoun, but I've seen Malkoun out wrestle guys like Brendan Allen. I mean, you could make a case that he won that Brendan Allen fight. Man, he's shown that he's high level. Honestly, he could be like 8-1. He could be undefeated. Not undefeated in the UFC because he lost to Phil Haas by KO. But he could be like what 3-1 in the UFC. Not 3-1. I can't do math. I mean, 6-1 in the UFC. So I think his only legit loss, a fight that he definitely lost, was to Phil Haas, where he got knocked out, right? He knocked out cold in the first 20 seconds. Goes out there. I mean, Nick Maxwell is actually a pretty good wrestler, so he's been able to beat guys with a similar style as Finney. So, man, I'm gonna go with Malkoun in this one. He is favored. But I think he should be able to beat a guy like Finney. Finney hasn't worked on the striking game as his. And that's kind of what Finney has to do. Throw more output. I mean, I'm sure he's been hearing all the people talk about his fighting style, how the UFC, they probably don't like him either now. Obviously, it took him 3 times to get signed to UFC on Contender Series. So, like, obviously, Dana wasn't the biggest fan of Torres Finney, and he's gonna have to kind of like change his fighting style. Maybe he will, right? He's only 27 years old, so like maybe he will show us something here. He's had some time off now, but like, man, I don't know. Like, he should be he's probably gonna be a lot of people's underdog this week, and I get it. Because you know what you're gonna get out of him. Wrestle, pretty good chin. He's never been knocked out. He's taken some big shots before. Man, he's gonna be fighting over there in Australia, and the judges probably gonna favor damage over control. So I'm gonna go with Malkoun in this one. Malkoun by decision. Malkoun minus 138. Man, there's some serious money on Finney's side here. I mean, Malkoun opened up at minus 250, which was crazy, but I do like him at this minus 138 line. Over 2.5 rounds, minus 190. I think it goes over 2.5 rounds. Even though, like, I mean, Finney's super, like, open to getting hit. He has a pretty good chin. He can fall back on the wrestling and just survive, So he has KO power to him, and Finney has KO power if he lands a clean on Malkoun. We know Malkoun has that off switch on that chin. But I'm just saying, I'm just gonna go off based on what I've been seeing out of Finney recently. Next fight on the card, we have Cam Rowston taking on Cody Brundage. I was talking about Cody Brundage earlier, the king of disqualifications. I'm gonna go with Cam Rowston. Brundage is actually pretty underrated. He's giving some of these guys some tough matchups, man. He beat Jack Reese with a slam TKO. I mean, was that fluke? Was that a fluke? I guess you can kind of say it was a fluke, because it kind of was a fluke. I mean, Reese was playing BG off his back and whatnot. And like, just look at his record. I mean, his career. Olosan was beating him up like he owed him money, and then he lands those elbows to the back of the head, and Brundage is like, "Bro, give me the DQ win right now." And they turned into a no contest, so they didn't fall into the Brundage trap there. Then he knocked out Julian Marquez. Marquez was teeing off on him in the clinch, teeing off on him, and Mark Smith just didn't stop the fight for some reason, I guess. Then he knocks out Marquez, because I think Marquez got tired beating him up in the first like 2 minutes. And then obviously the Mansour Abdul Malik. I mean, Malik honestly didn't look that good. Brundage was actually looking good in that fight. I think it was 1-1 heading into the third round. And that's why. And then obviously what happened, headbutt by Malik in the third round before the finishing sequence. And obviously, I think at the time, they actually called it a win for Malik by KO TKO. But afterwards, the commission overturned it to a majority draw. I mean, he did give Malik a pretty good fight, but like, it's kind of weird, man. I mean, am I gonna go bet Rowston at minus 830? He should win. He has the grappling. He has the striking. I think Rowston's gonna knock him out cold, man. I really do. He knocked out Andre Petrovsky in that last fight. He's been looking good, man. After losing to Torres Finney, where he got out wrestled, but he was like the one landing damage on the feet against Finney. Obviously, Finney was just able to take him down over and over, which was very impressive for Finney. He was catching Finney with some knees up the middle, so I can see him doing the same thing here. And Brundage is gonna throw down, man. So I think this fight's not gonna go over 1.5 rounds. I think this fight's gonna end in the first round. Brundage plus 285. Rowston minus 845 does kind of scare me, because he's been underdog now. But the guys that he's beating, I think they would probably be favored over Brundage. Petrovsky would be favored over Brundage. I don't know. I don't think Brandon Holmes would be favored over him. And his wins are not that great, but I think he's actually like looking better and better now, improving fight to fight. Whereas Brundage just kind of like he's gonna be what he is, right? If things aren't going his way, he's gonna look for a way out. But yeah, I mean, he has KO power too, though. I'm just gonna say that much. He's definitely a dangerous striker if you're not careful, if you don't take him serious. So I hope Cam Rowston is taking him serious at least. But yeah, let's move on. Cam Rowston, I'm gonna go round 1 KO. Next fight on the card is gonna be Junior Tafa versus Billy Elekana. This one's an easy one, man. I'm not really gonna spend too much time on this one. Junior Tafa cannot wrestle. Justin Tafa cannot wrestle. Um, they're okay strikers. I mean, like at the time he came into UFC, like people are like, "Oh, this guy's a scary kickboxer." Like, I mean, he's got a couple of KOs, but like, man, come on now. Like, he knocked out the guy who looks like he sells ice cream in an ice cream truck, full time and fights for part time. Um, so like this doesn't really impress me that much, and that kind of took him longer because Sean Sharaf took the fight on short notice. I remember he dropped down to 205 against Toko Tokos. Had some good moments in that fight, but like Toko just, I mean, I actually picked Toko by submission, so I got that one right. Second round submission, I got perfect prediction on that one. But like, just I don't know, man. Like Junior Tafa is not a guy you want to trust. I mean, it goes for both the Tafa brothers. Not a guy you want to trust unless they're like maybe even I don't even know if I would bet him at like plus unless they're fighting like a complete blob. Um, maybe then I would pick him at this point. Man, he's 29 years old. He's fighting Australia, but I still cannot pick this guy to win because Elekana's only lost to Bogdan Guska recently, and I'm not really that impressed with Elekana, but he does some things really well. He's pretty technical, has good cardio, has more heart, has more IQ than Tafa, and he can grapple. So he was out grappling Bogdan Guskov like in the first round when he came into show notice, but obviously got tired because he didn't prepare properly for the matchup. And Guskov is a guy who's a scary prospect. I mean, contender now. Guskov is actually a scary contender now, with a lot of KO power. And he just kind of gave him the submission because he was tired. I remember Guskov was teeing off on him, and he really kind of was like, "Here, take my neck and finish me right now." I don't blame him for that. It was his debut. It is what it is. I'm gonna take Elekana by submission. I think he's gonna submit him here. So I mean, everyone's picking him by submission. Damn, I'm not on anything. It's an open secret. So I think Elekana can knock him out. He can also submit him. I'm gonna say submission. I think he'll take his back and strangle him, rear naked choke. I do like Elekana as honestly, I do like him as a parlay piece. Minus 240. I think that line honestly should be like minus 400. I really do, man. If he grapples, he's gonna look minus 800. Um, over 1.5 rounds minus 125. Under 1.5 rounds plus 105. It's tricky. I do like him by finish, yo. I think you can get that at minus 125. Elekana by finish. Minus 125 by finish for Elekana. Submission, I like the submission cost plus 210. So yeah, I think the submission is there if he wants it, but he might just go for the KO. Some of these guys, they want to get a KO so they can get that bonus. Because I think obviously like I think now they have to give a bonus to every finished fighters get. So I think I'm gonna go submission. I'm gonna go round 1 submission for Elekana. Next fight on the card is gonna be Colin Salkilld taking on Jamie Mullarkey. Shouldn't be spending too much time on this fight. They're both from Australia, so I mean this could be like kind of like a fight where Salkilld is taking it easy on him, so that kind of scares me. But at some point, man, Salkilld like he has to. I mean, you're knocking out guys like hack press. I mean it was a nice high kick, and obviously, if you guys didn't know, hack press family owns a bakery, um, which I didn't know about until John Anik told me before he got absolutely pulverized, was sleeping, was snoozing for like a good 5-6 minutes. But yeah, I mean he out wrestled last moves. So before like Jimmy Mullarkey can do everything pretty well. He can wrestle, he can grapple, he can go for takedowns, he can strike. Just the chin, man. That chin just has never been there. And it's not getting any better. I did pick him over Bedoya because Bedoya is just shit. I don't even know why Bedoya even got a UFC contract, and the people were overhyping him. I mean, I was one of those people overhyping Bedoya after he had a close fight with Chaos Williams. I remember Bedoya just. I mean, I'm glad he finally got cut. I think he should have been cut right after that fight because he's like, even like 0-4 or 0-5 or something like that in the UFC. Um, and he beat Bedoya, but like Bedoya is shit. Can't do anything at all. Has a good chin, is tough, is durable. That's all Bedoya has. and he's got no skills. I mean, I don't think he can like even win rounds. Or he can win rounds. He can land volume. Doesn't have any KO power. Salkilld has KO power, and he can wrestle. So like, I don't even know. I mean, it makes sense. Honestly, 850. I think it makes sense for Salkilld. Minus 800 for Salkilld. Honestly, I think it's not bad. I really don't think it's bad. Over 1.5 rounds plus 125. Man, I think it's going under. Like if Saiko's not taking it easy on him because he's from Australia, just so they're kind of like brothers. So I hope that's not the case. It doesn't turn into like a sparring match or some shit. I think he should probably knock him out early. So nothing new here with the prediction. Everyone in the MMA space is gonna be picking Saiko by KO. I think it could be a submission. I mean, could he submit him? I think he could submit him if he wants to. But why would you want to do that? Why would you want to wrestle with Mullarkey, who can also wrestle and take your back, control you, and go for submissions? I think Salkilld has good fight IQ. He's smart. He's gonna strike with Mullarkey, whose chin's never really been there. So I'm gonna say round 1, round 2 KO for Salkilld. Next fight on the card, we got Tuivasa taking on Talish and Teixeira. Now we have two guys that are fighting each other. Tuivasa knocked out Derek Lewis, and that's the last guy that knocked out Teixeira. Kind of, I mean, I get the matchmaking by the UFC race. So if Tuivasa is ever gonna win any matchup, maybe they could have given him an easier one than this one. Because Teixeira is still like what 26 years old. He's super young for a heavyweight, and he's 6'7", 83 inch reach. But the main issue is like just like the main issue was for him in that Derek Lewis fight. He doesn't fight. I mean, he does fight well sometimes at range when he throws teep kicks to the body. He can hurt some of these guys with teep kicks because they're like big fat blobs. Like Tuivasa is a kind of like a blob. Man, Tuivasa, like, am I gonna pick a guy on like a 5-5 losing streak? But like those losses are not bad. Gone lost. He dropped Gone, by the way. He did drop Gone in the second on. Pavlovich, I mean, he got destroyed by Pavlovich, but Pavlovich is a freaking beast. Volkov, another. I mean, all these guys would be beating Teixeira right now. Like, even like 5 fights from now, I think all these guys would be beating him. Martian Tabora. I mean, I think Martian Tabora could take down Teixeira and like just make it a hell for him. But I think Teixeira could maybe like catch him on the feet and knock him out. It's tricky with that one. I mean, that's the one guy that I could maybe pick Teixeira over. And then Rosenstrike, I would pick Rosenstrike over Teixeira for sure, like 100%. Even the Rosenstrike not with the UFC anymore. He's fighting over there in dirty boxing now and doing his thing, making money. Good for him. Man, I really do want to pick Tuivasa because I think I can see him catching Teixeira, but like he just hasn't looked good, man. I mean, a huge losing streak, everything on the line. He might get cut by the UFC. I know the UFC loves those shoeys that he does. They love the guy. I mean, that's why they haven't cut him yet. He's only 32 years old. Is he training hard now? It's tricky, man. It's definitely tricky. But I mean, do I really want to pick a guy on fight? I rarely ever pick guys on a 5-5 losing streak. And Teixeira is 26 years old at heavyweight, so he's probably gonna make some improvements. He's got to be careful, man, because Tuivasa can still crack. That Biggie boy like loss wasn't a split decision. I mean, but that's the thing, right? If this fight goes longer, the judges could have something cooking for Tuivasa in Australia. They love the guy over there. Even though that like Biggie Boy won every single round, 30-27, somehow one judge gave the fight to Tuivasa. I think they fired the judge on the spot, by the way. Man, Tuivasa plus 235. So, don't make me do this. Don't make me do this. Over 1.5 rounds plus 207. Man, I don't even know if I want to touch this fight. Maybe Teixeira by submission. I mean, if he grapples, I think he'll have a really easy time with Tuivasa. If he doesn't wrestle, I think Tuivasa could shut his lights out. I really do, man. Not that Teixeira can knock him out on the feet. He maybe could land some elbows like he did over Tafa. But like Tuivasa is definitely better than Tafa, in my opinion. I'm gonna go Teixeira by submission. Man, I really do hope Tuivasa. I really hope Tuivasa pulls it off. I don't want to see him get cut by the UFC, but he's almost there. Next fight on the card, we have Rafael Fiziev taking on Mauricio Ruffy. Now, Ruffy's coming back after getting completely destroyed by Saint-Denis, man. I mean, he got absolutely pulverized and he got submitted. He kind of gave up in that fight. I don't like to see that. I don't know why I can't open this right now. Let me see if I can refresh right now, but I don't know why. Okay, maybe I should be okay. There we go. There we go. Finally, we did a. Finally, I was like, maybe something going on with my internet, but thank goodness nothing's going on with my internet. But yeah, here we have this matchup. Ruffy's getting another crack at the top 10. I mean, top 15 after getting completely destroyed by Saint-Denis. So it's kind of weird. I mean, I guess the UFC still wants him to win. They still like the guy. They still want to see him do good. They want someone exciting in the top 15, like Ruffy. Now they're giving him a striker, even though Fiziev is a striker, Muay Thai striker. He was, I think he was a was he? Yeah, he was a striking coach over there at Tiger Muay Thai for like a while. Was he? I think he was. Yeah, I think he is the striking coach over there. Let me look this up just to make sure. I think yeah, Tiger Muay Thai. He's a striking coach over there. Is he still? I guess he's not. I guess he's not. Maybe I'm thinking about someone else. But yeah, that's the thing about this fight is like I think I can see Fiziev mixing in takedowns. Is he gonna have success getting takedowns as Ruffy? I think he could if he goes for that. And the striking is good enough for he can land low kicks, he can land body kicks, he can land counters on the way in. And the issue I have for Ruffy, he has power. I mean, he can definitely hurt Fiziev with something, catch him and knock him out. Maybe he could do that. I think he could do that. His ability, but he is super low volume, and that can kind of bite him in this matchup if he doesn't get the KO early. That's kind of what I'm thinking here. Fiziev, 64% people picking Fiziev. He's 5'8", man. He's not going to be that big in this matchup, and Ruffy's going to have a reach advantage of 4 inches almost. He's going to be taller by 3 inches. So he's going to have the range. But the guy does slow down, man. Even Fiziev does slow down. So I don't like. It's kind of weird, man. This is a really tricky matchup to predict for me. Because I did pick Bahamondes over him. Because like Bahamondes has a reach. He's got the range. Like you'd probably pick him apart at range. But like Fiziev is really fast. He knows how to get on the inside and crack. He mixed in takedowns. So he mixed in takedowns. He also took on Justin Gaethje in the first round. So like his losses are only Gamrot, Justin Gaethje, 2 times. Man, his wins are. I mean, other than the Bahamondes win, like his wins are not that crazy either. Man, I'm gonna go. I'm actually gonna go with Fiziev. I'm gonna go Fiziev by decision. I think if he doesn't get knocked out early, I think he's just gonna land more volume, win rounds. It's gonna be a good ass fight, man. This is one of my favorite fights on the card. One of my favorite matchups on the card. Fiziev's the underdog now, so I'll take Fiziev plus 108. Yeah, give me Fiziev plus 108 underdog pick. Over 2.5 rounds. I mean, if they're favoring it to go over 2.5 rounds, unless they think Ruffy's gonna get knockdowns and not finish him, that's probably what they're thinking. Because obviously Justin did drop him with an uppercut in the second round, and he didn't finish him. Fiziev is really tough to get out of there. He's only been knocked out once. I think that was like one of his earlier fights by a Russian guy. Who was the guy that finished him? I think it was like a spinning back fist or some spinning back kick. Yeah, spinning back kick and by Magomed Mustafayev. Where the hell is Mustafayev? I think did you see? Yeah, they cut him. I think because he had so many canceled fights. I mean, he had what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Damn, 5 canceled fights in a row. I mean, obviously the UFC is gonna cut you then. Yeah, give me Fiziev by decision. Next fight on the card, we have Dan Hooker versus Benoit Saint-Denis, man. This is going to be a good-ass matchup right here, man. Saint-Denis is a problem with his grappling and wrestling, and he's relentless. Pretty good cardio. Gets better as the fight goes longer, other than the Poirier fight where he obviously he had staph infection going into that matchup. So he did slow down. He was putting on Dustin Poirier in the first round and a half. Obviously did slow down, got knocked out. Then he gets completely destroyed by Moicano in Paris. That was so embarrassing for him. So I mean, he took some time off, came back, beat Kyle Perpelik, who took the final short notice. And Perpelik was looking good early, obviously, but that's the thing with Perpelik. He's at 2 fights now where he looked good early, then he gets knocked out and finished. Dudober finished him in the third round. Saint-Denis finished it by submission in the second round. Ruffy, he just outstrikes Ruffy. Crazy pressure for pressure, destroys Mr. Ruffy, takes him down, makes him tap, face crank, not even under the neck. So the guy is gonna be grappling. I mean, he's gonna be shooting takedowns in this fight. He's gonna be pressuring forward against Dan Hooker, and Dan's gonna have to kind of be on the bicycle. Unless he can like knock him out cold. Like, does Dan have the power where he can just knock him out cold? It's been a minute, man. It's been a minute since Dan Hooker knocked anyone out cold. He's kind of like, I mean, he can drop people, he can hurt people with drop Gamera, but Gamera has a history of getting dropped over and over. And the Jalen Turner fight, I mean, that was really close. Like, Hooker showed a really good chin in that fight because he got caught like a nasty head kick right in the chin, and he just ate that shit. And I really want to pick Dan Hooker in Australia. I think it could be like if he doesn't get finished here by submission or some like ground and pound by Saint-Denis, I can see Dan Hooker pulling off like a split decision here. I really could. It could be like the Gamera fight. It was only like a year ago, and he got destroyed by Arman Sarukin. But I mean, who's not gonna get destroyed by Arman Sarukin? Maybe other than Tapora, yeah, 155 right now. Because I would pick Sarukin over Saint-Denis, no doubt. I would pick him over Saint-Denis. I mean, Allen finished him, but that was a 145, where he cut so much weight to make 145, and obviously that played a factor into a chin. Chin's better at 155. Saint-Denis gonna get those takedowns. The question is, can he hold him down? Can he just finish him right away? Man, I'm gonna go with Dan Hooker. But like, this is kind of like a long shot. On this fight for me. Plus 270 for Dan Hooker. I'm gonna take the long shot on Dan Hooker. I think he can make it competitive if he's not finished by submission early. Dan Hooker by decision. Honestly, I want to see a knockout. I want to see Dan Hooker by KO, but I think if he wins, it's gonna be like a close 29-28, maybe like a split decision. Give me Dan Hooker by decision. All right, here we go. We got a main event of the evening. Here we go. Well, we got Alexander Volkanovski taking on Diego Lopes. If you guys haven't yet, make sure you guys leave a like on this video, subscribe if you guys do enjoy these breakdowns weekly, and let's get into it, man. I did pick Diego Lopes the first time. Am I gonna pick Diego Lopes the second time? Because I did believe in the guy. Then obviously I picked John Silva, so like I guess I'm not the true Diego Lopes fan. Because I did kind of doubt him after he lost to Volkanovski. And I picked John Silva, and he goes out there, destroys him, 10-8 him in the first round, takes him down, beats him up, absolutely destroys him. Then he knocks him with a spinning back fist. Man, I know everyone keeps talking about the fact that up until that spinning back fist, Silva was kind of putting it on him, and it was kind of true. Silva was kind of like just outpointing him a little bit, putting it on him, getting momentum. Then he runs into the spinning back fist by Diego Lopes. He just couldn't recover from that. Lopes, 31 years old, man. Like, he's still making improvements. The guy is like, he's already been in there with Volkanovski, so he's gonna have an idea of what to expect. Like, he's gonna have to make improvements because Volkanovski is a really tricky customer. One of the best strikers. When you're talking about fight IQ, when you're talking about mixing everything up together, when you're talking about footwork, like Volkanovski is one of the trickiest customers in the UFC we've ever seen. He knows how to stay on the bicycle. He knows how to move in and out of range really well. He knows how to cut angles. You can catch with those counters. That's kind of what he did against Lopes in the first time. Just cut angle, just made him pay on the way in because Lopes was pressuring him nonstop for 25 minutes, and he only caught him once in that fight when he dropped him at the end of the second round. I believe it was the second round when he dropped him like with an overhand right. So he knows he can hurt this guy. And I think he's gonna have to go out there like really take more chances than the first matchup. He's gonna have to be willing to get knocked out to knock out Volkanovski. That's kind of what he's gonna have to like. That's kind of the risk he's gonna have to take. Because if he just fights Volkanovski the same way he did the first time, I don't think this fight's gonna look any different. Because the first fight, the judges gave Volkanovski 49-46. That's kind of what I gave Volkanovski because I only gave Lopez one round. And I think one judge even gave Volkanovski maybe even like a 50-45. So like, I mean, technically, like Volkanovski is levels above, levels above Lopez. Technically, I just said that. I just said levels above like 3 times. I apologize, but this has been a pretty long breakdown. We're almost coming up on an hour here. So you guys get what I'm trying to say, man. Like Volkanovski has good cardio. Lopez has good cardio. Like, is Lopez gonna have success wrestling? I'm not too sure. Volkanovski has really good takedown defense. The only guys that ever taken him down is Islam Makhachev, who's a champion at 170 now. So up 2 weight classes, a champion now. So that doesn't really tell me that Lopez is gonna have success wrestling. He didn't have any success wrestling him in the first fight. And that was only like a year back, right? Not even a year ago. How long ago was that? Like 9 months back. So how many improvements can he make in 9 months? That's the question. He is underdog. I do like picking underdogs. I know he's going to go out there, fight for money. The odds are getting close, man. The odds are really getting close now. And Volkanovski's only lost to 2 guys, Islam and Teixeira. Those are the only guys that he's lost to. And the first fight, Islam fight, was really close. He's beat everyone else, I mean. Even though he's like 37 years old, so the guy is like still just as good, if not better, other than the chin deteriorating just a little bit. I mean, my brain's telling me I should be picking Volkanovski here because he's so much better when it comes to fight IQ, when it comes to putting everything together, when it comes to his footwork. Not an easy guy to crack out there. And Lopez is going to have to knock him down again and then finish the job this time. Can he do that? Has he really made that many improvements since the first fight? I know I keep saying the same thing, but like I'm really struggling with this one, man, because I do want to pick Lopez again. And I'm going to pick him again one more time. I'm going to give one more chance. Because I know the UFC really wants him to win so they can keep building that Mexican market. Even though he's from Brazil, but he trains out of Mexico. I can see Lopez, like if he wins, they can put him on like the UFC Noche card next. Maybe against someone like Murphy or like Movsarevlov, because he did lose to Movsarevlov on short notice. If Volkanovski wins, I mean, they can just do Murphy and Volkanovski then, I guess. Man, I guess I'm gonna go with Lopez again, give him one more chance. So yeah, that's gonna be my pick, guys. Volkanovski obviously should win if he doesn't get caught with the big shot and get knocked out, but I feel like Lopez is just so dangerous and it's only gonna take a little one shot. He did drop him in the first fight. There wasn't enough time for him to follow up with follow-up shots at the end of the second, and when he knocked him down. I feel like he can do that again, and this time maybe he'll have more time to finish the job. So I'm gonna go Lopez by KO TKO. I'm gonna go with Dan Hooker by decision, Fiziev by decision. So I'm picking all the underdogs in the on the top fights. Picking Teixeira, Salkilld, Elekana, Rowston, Malkoun, Elliott, Yizha. So let me know if you guys agree, disagree with my predictions on this card. This is gonna be a really good card, man. I mean, now back-to-back pay-per-view cards doesn't get any better than this. And yeah, make sure you guys come tune into the live stream. I'll be live. I was live for UFC 324. We had a lot of fun watching all the fights, talking in general in the chat. So yeah, make sure you guys come tune in to the live stream. I should be live at 5, probably like 5:30 p.m. because I think they just started a little bit early, so just so they can yap a little bit. But yeah, hopefully I see you guys all there, and leave a comment down below who you guys are picking, who you guys are betting on this card. What's your most confident pick? What's your lock of the week this week? I would love to hear you guys parlays. I mean, what you guys got cooking. I know you guys are really sharp. Um, my community is really sharp when it comes to betting, so I want to hear you guys' predictions. Let me know in the comments. I'll be waiting. And yeah, have a good week, guys. Hopefully, you guys have a great week and enjoy this card with your family, whoever you're watching it with. If you're watching it with me, we'll definitely have a good time. All right, now take it easy, guys. See you guys next one later.